Thank you. Thank you. A year ago, I left you all with the words, I love you. That's because it was important for me to begin this journey from a place of love. Now it's just as important for me that I return to a place of gratitude. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity that this year has been, and for the people who made it possible. I want to thank my board members, Susan and Kevin, without whom this wouldn't have happened. I want to thank my family and friends for their patience and support. I want to send a special thank you to my friend Anna, who, after just working together 8 years ago, this project brought her back into my life in a big way, and she has been my rock for the second half of this project, which has not been the easier part to be involved with. But her friendship has been everything. So thank you. And I want to thank all of you for your encouragement and your interest throughout this whole year. I've got about a 15-minute rundown of what this year's been like, but in case you can't make it all the way through the end, thank you for being here and just taking the time to be a part of my first words back. So when I first imagined my first words back, years before the vow officially began, I hoped at this point that I would be addressing a live audience of millions of anonymous followers from behind a podium at some packed fundraising event, surrounded by my family and friends and a handful of collaborators and all the people that I had been able to work with in a year of engaging with different organizations. Instead, I'm here, coming at you live from inside the Tomb Rotor, from an undisclosed parking lot somewhere north of Delaware. And that's totally fine. That's exactly how our dreams are meant to be. We're meant to dream big. Big enough so that our realities have room to grow into them. I'll take that every single time when it's compared to shrinking our dreams in order to fit whatever our present reality is. And sometimes we get so caught up in what we think our dreams should look like that we forget to focus on the experience of them coming to life. So what has this experience been like? I couldn't possibly unpack it all right now, but I'll be trying to fill in some of the gaps in our posts and post about some of the key moments in the timeline of this past year. And we'll be posting interviews and Q&As and different opportunities to interact through social media, so we can address anything that you want to know. So keep an eye out for that. I think for the rest of my life now, I'm gonna be answering the question, was it worth it? Which is a question that goes way beyond a yes or no answer. I think instead I've been trying to focus on the question, did we do what we set out to do? And if you've seen our mission statement, then you know first and foremost that we aim to inspire. And I felt pretty good about that from the first day. When I woke up on my first silent morning about a year and a day ago, I woke up to a message from a former student, and I'm gonna embarrass her. I'm gonna read it and try not to get too emotional. But it said, "You're incredible. This project, everything you've done with your career is inspirational, and I look up to you so much, and this only proves more so how incredible you are. I don't think you'll remember me." I do. How could I not? But I was in one of your classes. I'm in the Marines, and the path you took helped me to figure out who I am and what I wanted to do. So thank you. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Waking up to that first morning, a part of me wanted to just say, "Are we done? Do we even need to keep going with this?" But we're never done. And inspiring others starts with living an inspired life. We need to live in a way that challenges ourselves and helps other people. And we need to do it in such an authentic way that it gives anyone out there permission to do the same and be the most authentic versions of themselves. Inspiration is cyclical. I take an idea and I run with it. And then when I hear about someone taking something from me and running with it and leaning into it with everything that they have, that's the stuff that inspires me, and it comes full circle. But it's about more than just ideas. It's about what you do with them. So what were we able to do in our aim to inspire? We wanted to raise awareness, and awareness always starts with ourselves. I was able to read 25 books. I read more, but those are just the books that I read specific to the cause that we supported this year. And that alone is more than twice the amount of books that I've ever read in a single year before. And even more than that, they were all books, stories, and experiences that I never would have been exposed to otherwise. Now that I'm talking again, I'm hoping to shift my writing back to sharing the lessons of these stories with you. But if you don't want to wait, you can look me up on GoodReads, and I have a Sound of a Whisper reading list, and that has all the titles that I've read in the past year and a few of the ones that I haven't gotten to yet. I was able to post over 60 articles, reviews, and announcements on our website, covering everything from fundraisers to profile pieces and observations about my experiences. Could there have been more? Should there have been more? Will there be more? Yes, probably, and absolutely. In addition to raising awareness, we wanted to promote volunteerism, ways that each of us can get involved and help to make our community a little better. This one took a pretty big hit with COVID. There's nothing we can do about that, but we were still able to do something. I ran in 2 different virtual 5Ks, supporting both autism research and veteran services. I led a cleanup initiative starting in literally my own backyard. For an entire month, I ate vegan and lost 14 pounds. I did a month-long personal waste audit in order to help reduce waste and use less single-use plastics. This is the area where we hope to expand the most as the world continues to vaccinate and restrictions get safely lifted. Finally, we wanted to learn more about how people express themselves. This is another one where we're still building the kind of engagement that we're looking for. But a year without talking was certainly a personal lesson in expression. I've spent a lot more time listening and finding other ways to express myself, whether it's through my writing or music, or art, or just physical expression. We'll just have to wait and see how those lessons translate while returning into the talking world. And hopefully start getting more people involved in the work that we do with expression. Most of you watching are people who have known me at some point in my life. So before I go, I wanted to give you a little personal, some of the personal highlights from this year. I got a crown put in. The dentist said I was a perfect silent patient while she was drilling into my skull. Somehow I ended up paying taxes for 5 different essential jobs across 3 states. and at the same time spending almost 6 months unemployed. In that stretch, I took this bad boy and renovated it from an empty van into a livable space. If you want to follow my renovations and road trips, you can check out Tomb Roader on Instagram. I built up a couple $1,000s in credit card debt, and but then I worked it all off, and I started learning guitar and painting, and I'm also working on writing some fiction and essays through Vocal Media. If you're curious and want to support me on that. And all of this during a global health crisis in a year where I wasn't speaking. It's been a year. As for what's next, well, you just have to wait and see. As for what's next with Sound of a Whisper, more the same, just a little bit louder. So, we're not going anywhere. So please follow, like, share, comment, subscribe. All those things are all helpful. And keep an eye out for different ways that you can support the work that we're doing. It's been great talking to you, but I gotta go. I'm running late for my own birthday party. So one more time, thank you.